Future Homes Standard is designed to improve the energy efficiency of houses and apartments, reducing residents' bills and catapulting the housing industry towards net zero. Under the standard, homes will produce 75 to 80% less carbon than homes built under the current building regulations. In principle, it is a step in the right direction, but progress never comes easy. Today, we will discuss how the looming introduction of the Future Home Standard is affecting the industry and ask what is being done to rise to the challenges it presents.
We want to meet housing need by building as many properties as possible. The more a property costs to build, then the less we build. So obviously we want to make sure that also properties are energy efficient and have a low running cost for tenants. So it's a balance really, how far you go. We embrace the Future Home Standard and the fact we are reducing energy need and reducing carbon, reducing bills, but it's whether it's affordable. We're going to have to adjust our viability appraisals about how we appraise schemes.
Key challenge for us is we've seen probably what's roughly a 20% in round terms increase in M&E costs as we've moved from Part L 2013 to 2021. Initial indications show that the Future Home Standard will have a further sort of 20% increase on that. So it's finding a way and a solution that we can accommodate those additional costs within what is a tight appraisal and continue to deliver new homes, because I think we all know there is a shortage of new homes and good quality homes, and it's how do we overcome these challenges to ensure that delivery doesn't stagnate and there's a drop off in the number of new homes being delivered.
A lot of these schemes, it kind of depends on the funding model. So we'll speak to developers and funders, and it needs to hit all these regulations, but this is the absolute maximum cost, and then it's kind of is that value of the more sustainable development being attributed, and then kind of on the back of that, G&T as a business, we do offer like whole life costing, and typically that's only being asked for to achieve a BREEAM credit, not really kind of thought of as looking at the forward use of the building, but I can kind of foresee in the next couple of years that's going to be an increased demand and something that we have to do a bit more of.
We deal with a range of clients that do value whole life costs, and we see it with the likes of Sheffield City Council, who have fitted our windows for the last 30 years. They know that they work. It was a project that we did 30 years ago. We installed the windows and they're still working fine now to this day. There's no major issues. So they see a massive benefit of that. And then you've got the other end of the scale is that it's not even looked at. The challenges are the elevated costs. So when we specify to a local authority or housing association, they get all the costs back. They can't go forward with the project.
So you can imagine when everyone's trying to adopt these same sort of standards, there is going to be a big issue. And I think one of the biggest concerns to me is the transitional period that they're talking about. I think in the consultation document they're referring to either best case 12 months, worst case possibly even as low as 6 months. It's just not going to be enough for people to sort of retrain and upskill themselves.
As we move in more schemes, then the supply chain will be able to respond in a better way. MVHR units, which is a mechanical van heat recovery piece of kit, we've got a very limited market that we can go to get a piece of kit that performs in the way that we need it to. So I would say there's a monopoly, but there isn't enough competition in the market for that particular piece of kit when we're looking at a procurement. Now, but that will evolve. So as there is a little bit of a stick from government to help make that happen, and it will be a little bit painful initially. But if we don't do that, we don't do it. We're dreaming about getting towards the aspirations for 2050. It just won't happen.
I think I'm glass half full. It's optimistic that we are pushing towards that, because I think a lot of the discussions here have already kind of put on the table that they think supply chain isn't caught up. So I think the more we can start to progress to those higher standards of energy efficiency, it's always a good thing, isn't it? But it does have to be viable. So we can't put these standards in place that aren't ever going to be achieved, because it doesn't help anyone, does it? It doesn't help the end user. It doesn't help any of the businesses around this table. So I think we're headed in the right direction, but I think there's always more you can do.
I think as always, when we have these new policies come in, they're happy it works. We find a way as a construction industry to make it work. And I think that anything that we do to make people's lives better the long term can only be good. And I think, sometimes we hit the industry hard saying, oh, it's going to all fall apart. Well, it might do for a little bit, but eventually we'll get our heads around it and we'll know, and I think it'll become normal. And hopefully in the future to reduce it again. And then it's a smaller step and a bigger step to go forwards. But I think maybe I'm an optimist, but I think in 2027 it'll be normal for us.